And it's just regular. I like to just talk and chat. Hello, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Chandria and Amy, and we're going to chat today and share some really good information. Just two women talking, enjoying a conversation about health. And we are going to talk today about why health really matters. So let me know, Amy, I want to make sure you're sending this, sharing this over to your page as well. We want everybody to see it. So I'll wait till you get it on yours.
Awesome, awesome. I'm new to all this, so just bear with me here.
That's okay. It's when it comes to technology, we're all learning.
That's so true, isn't it?
When it comes to technology, we are all learning.
That is so, so true.
I tagged you in it as well, if you don't see.
Perfect, perfect. Okay. So let's see here. Bear with me.
It's going to be fun, you guys.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is where I'm so new at all this. So now that I see you commenting.
So I just mute mine on the other end so you don't have the feedback on it on that side, and then you can share, I think, and then it'll say start a watch party.
Awesome. Okay. I'm so new at all this. Thank you for being so patient with me.
We learn through trial and error because sometimes if you're on your phone, it's different, and then if you're on your tablet, it's different.
Yeah. Okay. So do you mute it on the Zoom or on Facebook?
On Facebook, because we can hear it on the background. Yeah, I just mute it like on mine. I have it muted.
I got it.
Okay.
I finally got it.
We have to help you sometimes too. I learned that to do it through Facebook, you have to have it on your phone. And I was like, I'm just not good with standing there with my phone facing up at me. So I'd rather do it through Zoom and stream it to Facebook. Just makes it a lot easier for me.
So smart. So smart.
Welcome, Amy, to Healthy Trails Living, my little page here where I try to encourage my listeners to, just try to make simple changes to their lives and to their eating habits and other things. It's like cleaning products, just the little things that we can do that make a big difference in our health. And from our connection on Facebook, we've never met in person, but our connection on Facebook is very similar. So I'm going to tell you guys just a little bit about Amy, and I'm going to let her go. She is a wife, a mom, a lover of people who enjoys educating others on the benefits of living as non-toxic and chemical-free as possible. None of us can be 100%, even if we try. But we're talking about those small little changes each of us can make for just better health. And she wants to help them make wise choices through shopping decisions. So I think that's amazing. I'm trying to also become a little more conscious, definitely, of the things that I bring into my home, bring into my life as far as cleaning products, food, what I grow, even the compost that I use in my garden. Even things like that are very important. So tell us a little bit about how did you get started in the whole health and wellness lifestyle?
It's a great question. Well, it all really, I have to give my mom credit because my mother was a very, she took the bull by the horns. When I was young, I had ADHD. So she kind of taught us how to eat healthy and live healthy. But it wasn't until I had my son when when I had my son, I started looking into healthier living again, kind of going back to my roots because my mother, she grew an organic garden. So we ate non-processed from our garden mostly. And she was so careful with what we took in our systems to keep me calm and happy. But I didn't understand that as a kid. I never knew that. So when I went on my own, I kind of rebelled and did my own thing. And then when I had my own child, she did tell me, wait till you have your own. And that's exactly what happened. And so when I had my son, we had some complications. It's a complicated, not pregnancy, but a birth. And we found out a few years later that he was diagnosed at 8 years old with Asperger's, which is a high functioning autism. And so that really opened my eyes to the importance of really controlling his environment, what he ate, what he breathed in, just the environment, being calm in his environment, things like that. So it was really my son who, my mom at first, but then my son who kickstarted that healthy living. And that was about, he's almost 19, so that was about 18 years.
Oh, wow.
10 years when we really started doing it.
So what connection have you seen? Because you talked about you grew up on an organic farm. That is really cool. You garden now?
No, but we're a bit of gypsies. We've kind of traveled and lived in other countries for a little while. So we're settling down now. And that is my goal. I'm hoping to get myself a little garden. I actually have a little patch of land that I'm looking into to try to get back into it and grow my own gardens.
Well, so you said there were certain things that you learned as a child to, once you had your own child and you saw the need where nutrition came in. So what connection have you seen when it comes to a child's nutrition and their brains, just from your personal experience?
Oh, wow. Oh, you can't unsee and unknow once you go down that path, right? It's like when a person starts to research, you need to be ready to see what's going to come your way. So I say that because when Ethan got diagnosed with Asperger's, one of the things that we really wanted was to keep him away from any type of medication if possible. Because usually with that level of autism, because of their anxiety, it's so high, and neurologically their brains function differently. We took that to our specialist, and our specialist said immediately put him on a food modification diet and control his environment as best as you can. So we saw immediately, once Ethan was not eating gluten, when I took him off of casein, when I took him off of gluten, when I took him off of anything that was processed, especially dyes. He didn't react so much to dyes, but it was more the sugar, things like that. We saw an amazing difference in him. He went from being a child you could not control, like he was constantly, we would ask him to stand in place, he would run, and you know what I'm talking about, the overactive child, to being a very calm and relaxed young man. Now, I did that with his food. We also started to use essential oils on him from a very young age. I would do detox baths on a regular, where I would have him soak in baking soda and water and things like that. So I would pull those toxins out of his system, and we really worked hard with that, and I saw an amazing difference. So that was one. And as he started to grow a little older, like his mother, he started to rebel a little, because we can only encourage, we can't force, right? So that's when I started really seeing the need in non-toxic like cleaning products, and his gut health, very, very big. We started him back then, not so much because of his eating, but as he got older, and now gut health is huge for him. So we have him on a gut health regimen where he takes fiber to pull all the toxins out of his system, and then he puts in good enzymes and good probiotics, very high quality probiotics. Not not the common store probiotic or the common store fiber, but a high quality, easily digestible fiber. And we notice a difference in him and we also have him on a mood support as well for his high anxiety, because that is because of his neurological wiring, he gets very anxious very quickly. So that's something that Those four things together work very well for him.
Four core things. I love how you talked about the need to look at the nutrition, you know, and look at what was lacking or the things that were contributing to the high anxiety, contributing to all of the health issues that he had. And then you made adjustments. You made adjustments to not only the food. Sometimes we just look at the food. It's not always just the food, but we have to look at the other things in our environment. I love how you did the baking soda. My grandmother used to do that growing up.
Oh, it worked.
We didn't know why, but you know, as you get older, you realize she was trying to calm us wild kids down.
Yeah, pulling out, that's such a big thing. Yeah, such a big thing.
Toxins, she knew, you know, even with her limited education, because my grandmother was born in like 1923, you know, but they still had common sense to know the basic things, like you just said, baking soda to pull toxins out. You need to get the toxins out of the body.
Exactly.
Very important, and a lot of us have a buildup of toxins because of the foods we eat, the environmental things. And then you said something else. You use essential oils.
Me too. Yes, essential oils became pretty much a foundation in our home at a very young age with my son. As a matter of fact, I actually started experimenting with them when he was in my womb. I used to, he's very hyperactive. His foot would come out about 6 inches from, so I knew he was going to be one active child. But so I would experiment, and I would use oils, calming oils. Lavender was my favorite, and it still is to this day. I would rub it on my belly, and within minutes he was asleep. So I became a believer through use. You know, I became a believer by trusting the people in my environment who were looking out for my best interest. At that time, we have a very strong core spiritual belief system. So with that comes good friends and good advice, a lot of good advice. And I have many friends that were in the holistic health industry. And I believe strongly, passionately, that they were there to help guide me to where I needed to be so that my son could benefit the most. And so by listening to them, trusting them, at times it was hard to trust, but learning and saying, okay, well, you know, I'm going to give it a try, and I'm going to see for myself. Again, you can't unsee something. You can't, once you start it and you try it, you're like, they're right. There's something good about this. And when you see the effects and what they have on yourself and on your children especially, then you become a believer and you become passionate. So all those things kind of work together. I hope I didn't go off a beaten path there when I said that.
It was right on track, because you're keeping on track with the main focus is, you know, it's so simple that it's sometimes hard for people to believe. You know, it's so simple. It's just food.
Yeah.
You know, natural things. Essential oils are just, you know, things that are out in nature that are used, that grow in the ground, you know, grow in trees or whatever. But they're simple things that are all around us. A simple thing for baking soda. Who doesn't have baking soda in their house?
Exactly. And how it alkalinizes the body, and just taking it, you know, there's something to be said from generations before. You were talking about your grandmother. She may not have had book smarts, but boy, did she have wisdom and to know these things. And, you know, and I really appreciate the people in my life who, like your grandmother, were able to do that for me.
Yeah, and it passed down because it did set something, made me aware of certain things. Like growing up, we would every month, she would give us papaya. Well, after the summer was over, she'd give us papaya seeds. Papaya seeds. And she would give us a tablespoon, because if you've ever eaten papaya seeds, they're very spicy.
Yes.
We have to chew them. And she would stand there and make sure we chewed them until they were all down the table. And she would do that.
You hardcore.
Oh yeah, she was a lady that, I mean, the one time she had to take me to the doctor, I thought I was going to get in trouble. Like, we were sick. We were never sick kids, and it was a lot of us. You know, we played outside, we did those things, played in the dirt, and now I understand why she gave us papaya seeds. They are like a dewormer. We got dewormed every summer. So.
They are so amazing. It's amazing when somebody is having stomach issues, what papaya seeds can do. You're right. And a lot of times it kills it. It stuns the parasites and gets them out of our system. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I gave some to my niece and she knows, oh my goodness, she's going to give me papaya seeds. I mean, I'll buy a papaya once a year and I'll eat the seeds. And I do something with the fruit too, but I mostly get it for the seeds. But I love this conversation. So you've made a lot of simple lifestyle changes using simple things like baking soda that you can buy $2 for $1 at the grocery store, or you really want to get the expensive one with the peel off side. Maybe that's 99 cents. You know, regular baking soda, 50 cents usually. Something everybody can try that at home. So when say living healthy is expensive, doing healthy organic things are expensive, you know, you just proved and gave one little thing people can do to remove toxins. It's not. If you got 50 cents, you can do a baking soda bath. At least one of those things. You know? Exactly. So how do you make sure that you don't neglect your health? Because like you say, you don't have a toddler anymore. You have an adult son. So when people grow up, we do what we want to do when we get older. We eat what our friends eat. You know, and as adults, you know, we do things that adults do. So how do you make sure that your health is still a priority and it's not neglected?
Okay, so I have to tell you, I loved this. When you presented this question to me, I had to really think about it. And I'm going to be very transparent when I say this. I love that. Love the question. I, like everyone else, have fallen off the bandwagon and have decided, oh, it's just easier to neglect. It's just easier, right?
Yeah. I
was never my happy person when I allowed myself to do that, right? So how do I make sure I take care of myself? I work on most importantly, my core spiritual health, my emotional health. I do that by really taking time for me where I shut the world out, and if I have to take a nap, for example, today I had to take a nap. I took a nap. I took an hour-long nap. When somebody says to me, oh, I don't have time to take a nap. Oh, I don't understand what that means. You mean you don't have time to care for yourself? You need to start caring for yourself. I had to do that for my own inner emotional person, because if not, my brain will go and I become my worst enemy. I drink a lot of water a day. I carry this with me everywhere. So much so that my boys are like, Ma, my son, Ma, what are you doing? It's huge. It's embarrassing. But I don't feel well if I don't do it. I work really hard to eat well. I've cut out, more recently, I've gotten very serious. Like I was telling you earlier, we've jumped from country to country. We've had a beautiful life, you know, being a little bit of gypsies, trying different cultures, things like that. But now we're here in Canada. We're settling in a little. So we're now spent 20 years in Atlanta, went to Nicaragua, went to Mexico, and now we're here. It was forced circumstances. However, we are embracing them and loving it. And with that comes eating differently, because now I'm home. I can take care of my health the best I can. So I work very hard to eat well, and to consciously think about what I put in my mouth. So if I want something sweet, don't go crazy. Eat fruits or veggie, fruits. And I'm a bit of an addictive personality, so I had to cut the sugar out quite a bit. So I'm in that process right now. But I believe in sleep, in drinking water, in eating right, and cleaning. Like I advocate a non-toxic cleaning environment with cleaning products that are non-toxic, plant-based, enzyme-based, because everything, anything we put on our skin goes into our system. Anything we breathe goes into our lungs. If we, for example, side note, if we clean with toxic materials, for example, who didn't grow up on Clorox?
Right.
But if you're saying that, oh, well, it's easy, it's $2 at the store, you're smoking a pack of cigarettes every time you clean your house from the Clorox because of the fumes that are going in your system. So cutting those things out in my life, those are the ways that I care for myself. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I work really hard. Does that make sense, or am I all over the place?
It makes total sense. I love it, because it's so funny you said Clorox. My grandma had a sink full of bleach water every day. and it stayed in her sink every day. And I mean, she will clean her whole house with Lysol and bleach water. Maybe that's why she did the baking soda baths.
Maybe. Well, and you know, this is how we grew up, and we're conditioned to know, to think that these things are okay for us. But then when you see the rise in cancer and you see the rise in lung infection, people getting sick that have never been sick, never smoked a day in their life, never did all these things, we have to stop and ask ourselves, what am I breathing in? What am I allowing into my environment? And it's scary. It's a scary process. You know, I grew up on bleach. I watched my mother pass out cleaning our bathroom from mixing Clorox and ammonia. I almost lost my mother watching that. And that to me was like, there's something not right here. You have to have these big warning signs. There's something not right there.
The thing that I love is, you know, the simple changes. You know, one thing as a health coach that I try to, you know, work with different people. Everybody's at different stages. Right. So I know for me, when I went vegan, I'm not vegan anymore, but I'm more plant-based now. I will eat chicken and fish because I just find myself as a traveler in environments to where everybody's meat does not do my body the same way it does in a particular country. Whereas if I go to other countries, you know, I've eaten pork in other countries and never gotten sick from it like I do when I eat pork here. You know, it's a lot of factors that go into it, but I just know, you know, dealing with clients and various clients that everyone's at different levels. So, you know, one thing when I first went vegan, I went cold turkey. And I'm going to do an event later to explain to people why I went cold turkey. You know, but that's not the majority people. They're not going to go cold turkey. They're not going to, it's not going to be in their wheelhouse or in their financial ability to go cold turkey. But, you know, one thing I like to do is show people simple things you can do to get on that path. So as you start feeling better, I'm a firm believer that as people try new things, these things are foreign to most people. I remember when I became vegan, my family, I got a Southern family, my friends, they thought I was crazy, that I would only want to eat vegetables. And they would always say, you're already so thin, you're just gonna just waste away. But actually, when I became vegan, I actually gained at least 10 pounds of pure muscle. I felt the best I had ever felt in my life. And I had a clearer thinking that I hadn't had before. So I was able to make certain decisions that, you know, your body just kind of clears out when you feed it good stuff. So give it a clear, healthy environment to thrive in. And so for me, I've had to make the adjustment as a health coach to everybody's not going to be there. Out of that point. So what's one simple thing that you would say you found over the 20 plus years for your family as a mom, as a wife, as an advocate for healthy care that a normal Joe or Jane can incorporate in their life to have a healthier environment? Just one simple thing that you would say is top priority.
Something as simple as adding a salad or type of vegetable to every meal, something like that. We underestimate that, but it's very powerful when we allow greens in our system. And if you could do that even a little bit more, try to buy organic if you can. If you can. Not everything has to be organic. Like bananas, the peel, whatever's on the inside is always going to be organic, right? But for the most part, your greens, if you can get a thing of greens that are organic and wash them well, you know, and have a salad with every meal. I know that to me is, I have so many, like I can go from so many angles, but I think for me, that to me sets me back, right? It kind of realigns my family. Like, okay, we need to eat more greens, guys, because that kind of just starts the whole healthy process. Does that make sense?
I like that. I mean, it's a lot to choose from, but
Awesome.
that regular person out there that's watching on Facebook, you know, watching us live or watching the replay, and they're going to say, gosh, I got a closet full of Clorox, and I've got, you know, and that's just what I grew up on was, you know.
Well, I'd say get rid of it, but that's just me.
But then they say, oh, well, you know, what, I'm just struggling to make ends meet, you know. They may connect more with I can start doing baking soda.
Exactly.
I can do a leafy green once a week or at least one meal a day.
Exactly.
If I can drink that purple thing of water she had there, I can do that 5 times a day, you know, and that's for me.
I can use vinegar. instead of bleach to clean. If you look at the statistics for vinegar, it kills bacteria so much better than even bleach does.
I have
So
a big
something like that.
of white vinegar that I clean with, and the smell is not bad. My house doesn't smell like vinegar.
Right. Right.
There's a way that people can start, and I just find it when people make one simple change, the other changes just come after that, because when you start feeling better, then you're looking to feel even better. You're looking to, just make more changes. So I wanted to end us out. This has been so nice. We're running out of time, but we gotta talk again. But there are 4 core ways that major health organizations recommend that we can impact our health. Drinking water. I know most people need to drink at least half of their recommended half of your body weight in water a day. So you calculate that up, what is half of your body weight in ounces. Getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I suffered from insomnia for years. And then I worked at night for years. My husband worked at night for years. So we still have a struggle trying to make sure we get to sleep at a good time. And a lot of people do. And then eating real foods and getting moving, exercising, whatever that is for you. So what would you have to say about those 4 core things?
I would absolutely advocate all 4 of those, and in whatever capacity you can do it. I loved how you said that, move in whatever way works for you. Some people, their workout is gardening, or, I know some older ones maybe walk to their mailbox and get, that for them is good. For those of us who maybe don't like to work out, maybe taking a walk to a local, store if it's close enough, just saying little things like that. And absolutely, sleep is imperative. And if you have to take a nap during the day, do it. Don't say no to yourself when it comes to taking a nap, because not only are you helping yourself, you're helping others in your environment too.
She took a nap, or he took a nap. Ooh, thank goodness.
If I may say, as a side point, when my son was younger, with being hyperactive, as a parent, our first idea is, should I spank him? Right? One thing we did, oh, sweetie, you're so tired. Let's get you to take a nap. So then we would start during the day. And the days when he was the hardest, he took the longest naps. And he woke up and he was so calm, and it was wonderful. And he kind of walked away from a spanking, right? He took a nap.
Yeah, even as an adult, I noticed when I start getting moody or grumpy, it's like, I tell my husband, let me just go to sleep. I go to sleep and I get up. Now I can function. Now the issue is probably not even an issue anymore.
Right. What was that? I don't even remember.
Oh, let me cook you a big steak. No.
I love you now. That's first and ever.
I just learned that you're in Canada. So, hey, I just got something new here. So it's been amazing. I want to thank you for reaching out to me on Facebook.
Thank you.
I can do to repay. I truly appreciate this, and hopefully you'll be willing to come back in the future.
Hey, I'd love it. Oh, this is great. I loved it.
Really see from a different perspective, because people hear me all the time, but they can hear someone else talk about, especially someone who's lived in different places. They have a child, raised a family, you've gone through certain life stages. And I mean, you're speaking from your personal experience, but from experience that could maybe help somebody else. So thank you.
And it's my pleasure. My pleasure, absolutely.
The Facebook world, thank you guys for joining us, and everybody who watches the replay. Be sure to reach out to Amy Robinson if you're one of her followers, and find out more about some lifestyle changes she's made and how she stuck with them. And if you're one of my followers, definitely reach out to me. Love to share some different things, about food and health and wellness with you. And this is a tag team effort. So thank you so much again, Amy.
Thank you, sweetie.
Great day out there in Facebook world.
Bye, everyone.